you to introduce yourself once.
So, hi, my name is Melvin, the founder, the creator of Vin Smokehouse. We have been at it for almost 4.5 years now. 3 years we were in Goa. It's been more than a year in Mumbai. The journey has been crazy. And my introduction, I think, can be never ending. So, let me stop there and maybe divert to a point which is more talkable.
The thing is, Vin Smokehouse, everybody has heard. If you're a non-vegetarian and you're staying in Mumbai, if you've not heard of Vin Smokehouse, then you're doing something wrong probably.
Yeah.
So the thing is, everybody knows Vin Smokehouse, but nobody knows Melvin. So today I'm trying to focus on what you have gone through during the whole process, okay, and just try to get the real story out.
Okay. So, my always concept has been to do something different. It doesn't matter what, because I don't want to be like the part of the rat race. So, having said that, let me take you to 2015. Okay, the reason why I'm saying 2015 is almost 10 years ago. What happened is I quit my corporate job and I wanted to pursue my passion. My passion was motorcycling. I've been into motorcycles a lot. I've traveled a lot of India on my motorcycle. I love fixing my own motorcycles. So working on the bike, like I'm a grease monkey. I've always loved to get my hands dirty and do something with the bike. The reason that there has always been a reason behind doing something like that. So I have traveled all these places that I told you in India. I have traveled majorly solo. So what happens is if you're traveling solo and if anything happens to your motorcycle, you need to know basics at least,
Basics, yeah.
how to fix it in order to get back home. So all my journeys, all my travels have started from home and have ended at my home. I have never it's never been that I've towed the bike to some place and then traveled there and come back, or I had to come back on a flatbed. I didn't have to tow the motorcycle back. So it has always been like that because of the fact that I knew how to fix my motorcycle. Even if it is in somewhere in Rajasthan, something is broken down, I managed to fix it myself. So, coming back to the point, doing something different. So, I quit my corporate job in 2015 and I wanted to do something related to motorcycles, and that is when I had started my motorcycle store called Sama Mount Up. So, this was a motorcycle accessory shop. I used to sell helmet, jacket, the basics.
Basics.
However, what made me different from anybody else in the same segment was I had invented a product called Eclipse Bar and Lights. These are motorcycle handle bar and lights which gets fitted on the side of the handle. Suddenly, this conversation feels more motorcycle centric than food centric, but I'll come to the food part also. So what happened is these lights that I'm talking about, I had put a thought in it. It came while riding a motorcycle with a friend of mine who's a shippy and all of that. So let's go in depth about that maybe some other day. But when I when I introduced those lights, they became overnight famous, and there was a very famous YouTuber who had at that time had got more than 1 million views, and I had got a lot of orders. We sold a lot, but later on, within 6 months, we didn't patent it because we didn't know whether it will work, it will not work. We just wanted to do something different, so we did that, and it worked. I'm not saying it did not work. It did great, but within 6 months, China copied it. China bought it for like 300 rupees, and then there was no way we could compete with China. So we like, okay, we did not want to stoop down to the levels of China or anybody else. Like we could have done that. We could have instead of 3,000 rupees, we could have made it maybe half the price and reduce the quality and just let go of
There's no
it.
point in
We
that.
did not do that, and rather than compromising on quality, we let the product fizz away. The product, no, we no longer do it. But I'll tell you what, it's been 9, 10 years now. People are using it. The ones who are using it, they are still calling us saying that we want more. Now the motorcycle has done 10 years and they want the product so that they can use it again on a newer bike or whatever. They've changed their motorcycle. So the product outlasted their motorcycles. Like that good a product it was. So it was actually a bad thing for us because
You didn't fight it.
no, I'm saying it was a bad thing for us that the product was so good nobody came to buy another. Like ek le
Oh,
liya,
that good.
it
The
was that
quality was
good.
that good.
Yeah. So coming after the whole COVID thing, we thought that let's do something different again now, and that is when I got a lot of. I was watching a lot of videos. I was not traveling because we couldn't travel during COVID.
COVID, yeah.
Motorcycling had taken a step back, so I was like, let's do something food related. घर पे बैठ के, like everybody has done this in COVID.
Everybody.
घर पे
Yeah.
बैठ के कुछ ना कुछ खाने का तो बनाया ही है. So I was also doing a lot of experiments. And one of the experiments was smoked meat. Like, I had a small 15-liter oil ka can out of which I made a smoker, and then it was edible, but it took a lot of time. Ek chicken ka leg liya, we smoked it
It
for
was a
like 8
makeshift
hours.
smoker, yeah.
Makeshift smoker,
Yeah.
obviously. It was just a DIY, just a try out, proof of concept, likewise. So, and the reason why I'll tell you, these Americans who have been eating, so they all have an smoker in their backyard. Like,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
everybody has it. matlab they have like
That's
a
the
good
classic American
household,
Yeah.
right? So they are making their own food. They are marinating it. They are putting it in the smoker. खुद ही खा रहे हैं and they खुद की तारीफ भी कर रहे हैं. Like it is so nice. Like मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा? I am here. I wouldn't know whether
Yeah,
what you're
exactly.
talking about. I've never tasted that. I've not been to America. I've never tasted it. So I was like, let's try. So that's when the whole during COVID we tried the smoker and it was nice, and it was something different what nobody else in India has been doing. At least that what we knew at that time, and we were like, chalo, let's give it a shot. So that's when I built a smoker, and the reason why I did that is because one, I had technical knowledge because of Eclipse.
Yeah.
I have always worked with metal, so I could kind of do it. Second was obviously it was COVID time, money crunch. I did not want to spend a lot of money on building a smoker, which I did not know whether it will work, it will
Yeah,
not work.
obviously, yeah.
Like same is with Eclipse. Eclipse banane ke time pe I had spent so much of money on it without knowing the fact whether it will work, it will not work. It worked with God's grace.
Yeah, with God's grace.
Otherwise, it would have been money gone in vain.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do similar things with the food. So I said, let's just build a smoker on the minimum budget that we could, and then let's see how it goes from there. So touch wood, the journey has been crazy after that. Like what happened is we made the smoker in Mumbai, and later we realized. Mumbai mein there are a little bit of norms with relating to burning wood,
Oh, is
and
it?
yeah, there are, and you can't be doing it anywhere closer to commercial or residential
Oh, okay.
places. Like you have to be very isolated. You have to have decent wood. You cannot be just burning anything. Like
Okay.
these bakeries and all, they burn. A different kind of wood, which is very pollutant kind of a wood. What we do is we season the wood. What happens is when seasoning the wood, it gets dry, and when it burns clean, meaning no harmful pollutants are released in the air. So we take care of all of that. So when we built the smoker in Mumbai, we realized that we cannot be doing it with the wood so easily. So we were like, let's go to a place where it is a little more welcoming. So that's when from Mumbai we went to Goa. Me and my partner, we went to Goa, and it was only me and her who we've been doing it all through out in Goa. Like for 3 years, we did it ourselves. So Goa may also we had great response, but then we put I had a big motorcycle like a Kawasaki versus bike I had.
Okay.
Yeah, so again money crunch, so we were like let's spend money very wisely. So in Goa, how it is, we've been bitten very badly with this. So where we were staying, there was um, a very small house behind the owner's property, and where the owner's property was there was a small. How do I say it? You understand what's a country bar? Not American style,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Indian style.
yeah, I got it.
Desi daru.
Desi daru. Got
So
it.
in Goa, desi daru is what? Feni.
Penny. Yeah.
So the owner had a Feni joint, and
Okay.
this Feni joint was basically for laborers or somebody from a little lower
Working class.
working
Lower
class. Yeah, like somebody who wants to just buy a 40 rupees a quarter Feni and like
Have fun, yeah.
not have fun, like get on with their work. So these guys
Oh, okay,
used
got
to
it.
come in the morning. So these are like those hardcore laborers who drink so that they can go through the day.
Oh,
So that kind of a place it was, and we were staying behind it. Like we didn't know all of this because the place was shut. Like this is, I'm just giving you a backstory of this place, so you understand what we went through. So we were staying over here, and the owner came, and we were waiting for our food trucker licenses and everything over there because you're not from Goa. It gets difficult for you to get any licenses.
You need a permit, I believe.
Absolutely, you need a permit from the local panchayat and all of that. So we were working towards that, and then there were some elections going on. It took us almost 8 months to get the permit. So while waiting, the owner he came to us saying that I have a bar. Why don't you run it? Like why don't you start it? So we were like, sorry, boss, we've never done it before. We've never sold alcohol or anything of those lines. Never done that before. So he's like, give it a shot. Don't worry about the rent. Just take care of the water and the electricity. So we were like, fair enough.
I mean, you're saving so much money, why not?
Why not? So my partner, she's an artist. She does great drawings and all of that, and I am into lights and I'm into all sorts of DIY. So me and her, we got together and we turned that place 360 degrees around. Like from what explanation I gave you, from that
So shady bar.
from the shady bar, it became, and I would share some pictures with you so that you understand what I'm talking about. It turned completely 360, and it was a great place where, like a single girl or a lady could come and sit and have a drink, and no issues at all. Uh, we used to, I told you, right? We used to stay behind that property, so that was a ghar, and outside we had a bar. So we named it Ghar Bar. And oh my god, it was so hilarious. So we were staying in this place called Shiole. It's in North Goa. It's a small place.
Okay.
And we got famous because of Ghar Bar. Like everybody in Shiole knew Ghar Bar. Like such a catchy name that was.
Yeah.
So I told you we got burnt because at Ghar Bar we were doing great. Within a week or two we picked up crazy. Like it was we were getting good clientele because the road that we were on Marna Road, which is very isolated at that point of time. No bars or no, there's one or two maybe, but very isolated.
Very
And at the end of the road, there were like big villas where all expats, like all people from Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai are staying there, like in villas and all of that. So these guys, they found a place like a local joint to go to, and like in the PJs,
Their
and they
go-to place, yeah.
yeah. So imagine from that Fenny bar to like we were selling like high like good level whiskeys, like really. So we did that, and every Thursdays at Ghar Bar we used to do barbecue nights. So barbecue nights was basically we had a smoker and we wanted to show our food. And at Ghar Bar we do not have much food options. It was a bar, so we didn't know whether food will work or not work. So just to try it out on Thursdays, we used to do this barbecue night where we used to tell people that we are doing this and serve our barbecue food. And during these days, like during the barbecue nights, we used to make like an cocktail out of penny and kokum. So it's a very common cocktail in Goa, but there was a twist to the cocktail that we used to do. And we used to sell this cocktail for like 250 rupees.
Okay.
Okay, which is a
It's a
very
very fair price.
fair price.
Very low as well.
Absolutely. But the owner used to sell a quarter penny for 40 rupees. He thought we are doing a lot of business because we are doing like a cocktail which has like maybe 60 ml of Fenny for 250 rupees. So he went bonkers. He was like, these guys are minting money. So within 45 days of our tenure of running Harbar, he's like, I have to double your rent. I'm like, what rent are you talking about? You said no rent.
You said no rent now, double rent.
Double the rent. He wanted 50% of the profit. I was like,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not. We gave him the keys. We said, you keep your thing.
Now we have proof of concept.
We are like we understood that it's gonna work. At least the food is gonna work, and we were happy about that. And I think Dasera on that year was our last day. So like we Ravan ko jalaya aag, and then we left that place. And luckily, I'm telling you what, Goa has been a very tough challenge. Like especially somebody from Mumbai to go to another state and do business, it's not easy. And Goa has its own challenges. So next day of shutting Harbar, we got our permit to do the food truck. So we were like so
So lucky,
happy
yeah,
that
exactly.
chalo, one stream of revenue closed, but we got another one. So that's when we started prepping for the truck. Now, the reason why truck was the idea was because of such instances. What I told you with Dharwad, it's not a one-off. It has happened to a whole lot of. If you search through the internet or you have any friends who are in Goa, they would tell you that this is a very common thing over there where the owner, like, once they understand that you're doing good business or whether you have good money that they could exploit, they would kind of do this to you. So, me being in the industry, I have spoken to a lot of people and they have also told me that this is a very common thing. So, we did not want to put our money in a rented place over there in Goa and then just to realize in 11 months the owner could throw us out. So that is why we, as I said, we wanted to, like, utilize the money to its optimum. And that's when we thought that if we have a food truck tomorrow, if it doesn't work out, we could always pack it back and take
Yeah,
it. Like
exactly.
the investment stays with us. So that is when the food truck idea came, and we were like, now I had the big bike. I told you, I sold the bike and I got the money invested in the truck. So the truck did pretty well. We were on the road, like, imagine now on the road we could never do it. But
Yeah.
over there, we got the permit from the local panchayat, and the local panchayat was good. There was one of the sarpanches who were helpful, and thank God, like his name is William. I don't know if it would make any sense to mention it over here, but he helped us and we got the license in Goa, and we operated in Goa for almost 2.5, 3 years, wherein we did a lot of events. Rider Mania, IBW, these are all motorcycling events. I am from motorcycle
Yeah,
background, so
so
I used to get this influence and do these events. And at that time, so it's not a truck, it's a trailer.
it's a trailer, yeah.
I used to have my Tata Safari, a old Icor, which we used to tow it along, like we used to tow the trailer
So
along
this
in
is
the
the
car.
same thing that was in Goa.
Same thing that was
Same
in
thing that
Goa.
was in Goa.
Absolutely. This was like built again. The guys who built it, they were not sure whether this will work or not work. So I was like,
Let's make
let
it
me.
happen.
So they had, like, cut it off halfway, and they were like only this much of stability would be there. I was like, no, I want the whole thing to be open. The reason why is because I wanted the smoker to be inside, and if we light up the smoker, it has to be airy enough that the smoke dissipates and doesn't trouble the people who are
We're
working.
working inside.
Yeah. So the smoker was always planned to be inside, to be used, to be honest with you. But then we never ended up using the smoker is because we used to have an alternate kitchen. So we have our kitchen here also. The kitchen is in Borivali, where we cook everything and we bring it here because over there we have the freedom to burn the wood, and we start in the morning. So, like, it's a very tedious process. We start at 8 in the morning, all the way through the afternoon we are cooking, and then we come here only in the evenings. So that's how it was meant to be. But coming back to the truck, in Goa we had the truck, and the reason why we had the truck is because of people over there. We wanted to
Obviously.
invest nicely. And then what happened in Goa is me and my partner, we had a baby and we wanted to come back to Bombay because we couldn't just manage the baby alone, both of us. So we came back to Bombay, and then while we were in Bombay, again, like, searching a place was the most tedious task.
It's not easy in
It's
Mumbai.
not easy. Also, the thing was that when we came to Bombay, we again wanted to do something different, what nobody else in Mumbai is doing. We wanted to be different, and that is why we were like, "Chalo, let's." We already have our food truck. Finding a normal restaurant kind of a setup place and letting go of an investment would make no sense. Why to do that? So we were like, let's find a place where we can place the food truck. So that was the whole idea, and that's why we came, and that's when we came across this place, and we were like, perfect. This was
Perfect, yeah.
we could place the food truck, and we could have a seating arrangement, and then we would not it would not be a food truck on the road, and we would not be like not a restaurant.
Yeah. You won't have to
Exactly.
depend on someone else as well.
Absolutely. So that was the whole story so far. And then after we were here, we were just doing our regular thing, and people were not noticing us so much. And that's when we moved to Instagram. And as soon as the story came out on Instagram, it became.
A huge hit instantly.
I don't want to say that, but yeah. No, we have a long way to go. Like, we are not there yet. But yeah, like that's what happened, and we've been getting very, very good customers, I would say. Some who are understanding us, some who are not, and maybe they would understand us better. Maybe just by explaining what we are doing. Is we are not doing something what maybe any of these restaurants are doing. Like we are not a QSR where you could expect service. Like from when we came back from Goa, one thing that we picked up from Goa is like Susigat. Like it's a little relaxed, chill. Like
Yeah.
no hurry. Like everybody is in a hurry. We are in Mindspace, hub of
Yeah,
call
exactly.
centers where everybody is running the rat race. Come here, sit down, have some patience. Let us take our time, give you good food. Like one word we used to mention in Ghar Bar is good food takes time. Right?
Yeah, well,
So
obviously, for
yeah,
something like this, obviously it takes time.
absolutely. So have that at the back of your head and like just chill and maybe you'll have a good time. Yeah.
So in Goa as well, you got the proof of concept from Goa about the American barbecue style.
No. So proof of concept, I told you, COVID time pe I got it from that
Okay.
small smoker. That was the proof of concept. In Goa, we got a proof that what we are making, our recipe, like we learned it from YouTube, looking at all these videos of Americans, but you cannot follow their recipe. If you follow their recipe, it is like very sweet. मतलब मीठा इतना है कि you
Yeah, they
will
have a
not like
very
it.
different
Their palate is
taste palette.
different,
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely. For them, if you put cayenne pepper, अरे बाबा spice हो गया. Cayenne
For
pepper यहाँ पे तो सूंघ लेते हैं.
for Indian, it's
It's
level of spiciness should
is
be on
is
a different level.
different level. So that's what we did a little bit of here and there. Again in Goa, we used to get a lot of Russian customers, a lot of foreigners, and we used to kind of keep it at the level where it is palatable by them as
And
well
as
as
well as us.
Indians. So, but from the time we've come to Mumbai, I'll tell you, our recipe again has twisted a little bit to the spicier side because people in Mumbai are looking for spicy. But then again, having said that, we don't want to come to a point where we do Korean
Yeah, yeah.
or like extremely
Just
spicy.
following the trend. Everybody's trying to be
Everybody
the
following the trend.
yeah.
That's what I said. Now we are not doing that. We're trying to do something different, and not everybody is understanding. Who is understanding? They're loving it.
But didn't you find it a bit risky that we're
It
trying the
is.
American barbecue style here as well? Didn't you think that it might not work? There are chances that people might not like it as much.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like the first 6 months that we've been here, we started in Jan 2025.
Okay.
So from Jan till June, that is what I've been thinking. What you just now said,
Yeah.
like maybe
Maybe
it's
I
not
made a mistake.
working.
Maybe it's
Maybe
because
yeah, because we were not getting the numbers. We were not like, and we were just relying on the look and feel and thinking that customers would look at us and come. But then this is not like the main road. Even though it is a busy place, but it's not like where everybody and not everybody has that thing that if they see something different, they would want to try.
they want to try. They want to
They
stick to the
they are
same.
regulars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the challenge that we were facing, and that is when we thought that the 6 months have been so bad. Monsoons were supposed to hit, and we were like, maybe monsoons are going to be worse. So we were like, let's give Instagram a chance and see if things change, and things did change for us.
So from the starting, you've been using your Instagram on your own, or you hired someone?
From
Since
starting I've been using my own, and like I'm telling you, the I when in the beginning I used to only do everything like cooking, cleaning, prepping,
one man
everything,
show.
one man show it
Yeah.
was. And along with that, doing Instagram was just not possible.
Yeah.
So I used to do once in a blue moon. If I see something worthy, I would post it, and then it would obviously not make sense. No followers, no nothing. But post that, when we did hire somebody to do our Instagram, and they did a great job, and that is how we grew.
So everybody sees like the huge views, everybody sees the viral Instagram spot. How does it feel on days that it's not as lively as it seems on Instagram?
So, we take it as a breather, meaning, okay, like maybe tomorrow is gonna be like that again. So let's just prepare for tomorrow. Today, if it's not so much, fair enough. There are so many reasons that it would happen. Like
Just
Sankashti is
not the
there.
luck. Yeah, oh my god.
There is
Don't get me started.
there is a cricket match that is happening, and like there's nobody. And again, we rely only on our footfalls. We don't do Zomato. We don't do Swiggy. There's a reason behind that. So the day which we don't have more customers, we tell them that like it's lucky that whoever is come, they've got their food on time, they're happy, and that is how we get some good scores on our Google Google reviews.
Yeah, otherwise, you
Otherwise,
just wait for 40 minutes.
that's the very common thing. Or the other common thing is like we went over there like fourth time and then they did not have the food. So these were challenges that we have been facing, but now we are overcoming that. The new video which shows the big smoker,
smoker.
oh my god, that's like a crazy smoker that we have. So once that now that has come, we would not have shortage problem as much.
So just imagine if you're not doing this,
Hmm.
what would your life look like? Other than if you were not running a restaurant. And
I am a very DIY guy.
yeah.
Good that you brought that point up. So, if I was not running a restaurant, what I would be doing? I am obsessed with wood working. So my grandfather was a proper carpenter. Like we come from a lineage. My dad, when he was younger, he would go with my grandfather to his work sites and just help him out, like with just maybe picking up a nail or cutting or something like that, and he would kind of learn the trade. Not obviously he did not use it. My dad was working in the Oberoi hotels all his service life, so he never used his woodworking skills as much, but he learned it from his dad. With me, the same thing happened. So my dad would be like a weekend carpenter, where if there is anything in the house which is broken, he would fix it. He would have all the tools, and that's how I learned. So you see this table, I have built it myself, and I am in the process of building another one. I'll share some pictures or videos about that, and it is a tedious task. Like it's in the sun, you have to stand. Again, you would say that now that you have a restaurant, you might want to maybe hire somebody to or buy it
buy
out.
it, that's the easiest option.
That's the easiest option. So with us, it's not like that. There is no story to tell. There is. If you buy it, obviously it is expensive. When you can do it, you have the skills, you have the know-how. I would always prefer to do it myself rather than letting anybody else do it. And this is I learned in Goa also. In Mumbai, it is, thank God, it is so easy to hire somebody, like get a labor to do something like that. In Goa, it wasn't the case. In Goa, trust me, I have chopped one full mango tree which was fallen in the monsoons. Goa mein, this is a very common thing. So a tree would fall in maybe in your backyard, and you would just want to get rid of it now. So they would sell the tree for you for like nothing. You just take it, and then we used to season the tree and all of that. So before doing that, we had to chop it, and I have kind of damaged my shoulder and my elbow because of doing this. With an axe, I have chopped a tree myself. So I have got that thing in me that I would like to work, hard work or being a grease monkey. It comes to me naturally. So I would love to do that. And your question was, if not a restaurant, I would be most probably a woodworker, carpenter with a pencil in the ear.
But luckily, you are not that, and you're getting good food.
Yeah, yeah.
So it worked out in that. So my last question would be, if somebody wants to get into this restaurant business, somebody wants to make something of their own, what would be some advice you would give to them?
Try and do something different. And the challenge with doing something different would be the fact that you would not know till the end whether it works or it doesn't work. So that would be one thing. And secondly, I would say food industry is very difficult. Meaning, I was in the motorcycle industry, and so I used to give 1 rupee and I used to get 2 rupees. Like very basic. I'm just giving you an example, like how business used to be. Here, like I used to give 1 rupee, meaning I used to give efforts worth 1 rupee and I used to get my 1 rupee. Here, you give efforts for 2 rupees and you would get 50 paisa. So it is that difficult. Like people have that concept that food business is very profitable and all of that. Yes, maybe it must be if you are doing cost cutting and if you are like a big chain of restaurants wherein you have your SOPs and you are finding the cheapest products and you're bringing it, maybe making some changes to it and you're giving it to the customer for a very big margin, possibly. But with a new startup, getting a lot of profit is like not possible. Like, you have to weigh out the pros and cons before getting into the industry. I wouldn't say it's a cup of tea for
for
everybody.
everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what would be just one thing you would have told yourself earlier? If you could go back and tell yourself one thing when you started this in Mumbai.
If I go back and tell myself one thing, pretty much nothing, man. I'm sorry. Nothing comes to mind. Like, see, you have to make mistakes in order to come out of it, right? So there isn't like if I could go back in time and make some changes, then I probably would become dumber because I wouldn't have made that mistake and like which would have made me smarter to kind of overcome that mistake. So
So, make more mistakes, basically.
absolutely, man. If you don't make a mistake, how would you learn from it?
Thank you so much for your time.
Yo, most welcome.
Lovely
Yo,
having you.